Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity Series as we're up here in the Northeast region at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Magic Mile, playing host to race number 4 here for the season. 3 races so far, and we've seen Ryan Kelly out there dominate the 2 races that he's been at so far. He won the season opener. He won last week at Kentucky. Dalton Kilroe winning the race in between there. Dalton Kilroe is your points leader. 1, because of the win, and 2, because of just his just out and out consistency every week. Ryan Kelly is in 4th in the points with those 2 wins, even though he missed one of those races. So he only has 2 races under his belt. Everybody else has 3, but I mean, that's how good he is. He's 2 for 2, but not in the field here tonight. So these drivers maybe having a bit of a break. I'm sure they don't mind. I'm sure Dalton Kilroe doesn't mind. He's got maybe a little bit better chance to win here. But some other drivers have been racing really well this season as well. Ty Marasco, 2nd in points, and certainly well-deserving. He's got 3 top 10s, 2 top 5s out of the 3 races so far. Got a chance to talk to us twice already through 3 races. So the number 1, that DQ, disqualified in that Dairy Queen machine, is running well so far this season. We'll see how he does here at the Magic Mile. Carl Hamworth joining in the booth with Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, this track, it's a mile. I know you call it a short track. Technically, it's a 1.06 mile, so it's over a mile, but I know it's flat, and that can be a pain in the you-know-what.
Yeah, maybe I should walk away from calling them short, but they are flat, and they become a pain in the butt to do that here. And I'm trying to see what's going on with racing. It says I'm live, but I'm trying to click on people, and I might have to reboot iRacing. So I guess this is not good. I should be seeing drivers go around the track. Are you having any issues with iRacing before I reboot it?
It's stopped right now for me, but I'm through yours. I'm slaving off of yours now. It looks like it's finally turning. And once again, if it's not showing anything on yours, go ahead and reboot it, and we'll get this thing underway. We still got about 1.5 minutes in qualifying till these drivers are ready to go. So we'll go ahead and step aside, get these technical difficulties squared up before we get to the green flag.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're still live. Everything should be working here. I don't know what's going on. Says I'm live. Why isn't it going? iRacing doing iRacing things. Stand by for just some black screens. So we'll be here as I get to this really quick. You'll get to see the startup screen, maybe. See what's going on here. See if this is just a quick reboot of the game, but definitely technical difficulties here for the track. But Carl, looking forward to what these drivers could do here. We're talking about the New Hampshire being a flat track per se. It's a little over, it's a mile long, so and it's got the corners are pretty even. And I was out there, and it's just a lot of patience here with the car, with the track kind of being flat. There's nothing for the car to kind of use higher speeds to help assist it around the corners.
Yeah, I mean, obviously no banking in the corners, but there are several different lines you can run. You're going to want to get to the bottom of the track exiting the corners. So no matter where you enter, if you want to enter high, if you want to enter the middle, bottom, no matter where you enter, if you enter on the bottom, a lot of times you'll see the cars kind of dime in the corner. They'll drift up mid-corner and then arc that corner, arc the car back down coming off the corner just to get a good run off. It's certainly there's no transition from banking to not banking, so you don't have to worry about the car necessarily getting upset that way, but it's flat and you're turning really hard, so you get on the gas just a little bit too much. That back end is going to become the front end very quickly. But
there we go.
We are all done with qualifying, so while Jimmy's getting everything squared away and back up here, I'll give you a rundown of tonight's starting order. It's going to be Cody Griffin on the pole, Ty Marasco outside of the pole. So maybe looking for yet another good start, another chance to talk to us here once again. Dalton Kilroe up there in 3rd with John Garrett in 4th. Tyler Hilton, Brandon Meir in row number 3. Row number 4 is going to be Robert Kahn and Dustin Franklin with Gordon Larson and Todd Poston rounding out your top 10. Mike Hasty, Eric Blunt in row number 11. In row number 6 in 11th and 12th. Michael Taylor, DJ Mitzel in row number 7. Hemi Giardini, Derek Paulson back there in row number 8. Cole Spaulding, Len McNeese in row number 9 with Cade Green and Hilton Young rounding out your top 20. Then you got Sean Wilder, Tim Lee, and Man, it's always in the back. The 77 of Michael Pratt, rounding out your 23 car field.
Yeah, 23 cars. Obviously they've been growing at a steady pace. Like a driver a week for the most part. So it's always good to see the field get out here tonight. Also, I guess Tim Lee, of course, the leader out there tonight as well, back in the pack. So we'll see if he can get that number 24 shell machine up to where it belongs. Typically runs in the top 10 car also, and has had a couple good showings so far this season, actually driving up in the top 5. So maybe the 24 finds some speed this season, and we'll see if Tim can get back up there to compete with some of these drivers up there. But Cody Griffin on the pole here, like you said, and at Cody Griffin Racing, blue number 3 machine, ready to rock and roll.
Missing a few top drivers out here tonight. Todd Merkel not going to make it here tonight. He is 6th place in the points. Andrew Pileshi hasn't really had a necessarily good run yet this season, with just 1 top 5 out of the 3 races, but he's not going to make it here tonight. And then Austin Call, 5th place in points, is also not going to be in attendance. So some of the heavy hitters not here tonight, and as well as your 2-time winner, as mentioned, Ryan Kelly, not here as well. So we'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight. We'll see if Cody Griffin can step in here and fill the shoes of Ryan and get his first win of the season. Maybe Ty Marasco finally tastes the top step of the podium, or could it just be that 41 of Dalton Kilroe looking to match Ryan with his 2nd win of the season as well and stretch out that point lead? Maybe John Garrett has got the hot shoe. Maybe it's Tyler Hilton. They're all starting in the top 5. The pace car is off the track. We're in the Echo Park restart zone, and we're racing here at New Hampshire.
And away they go is Cody Griffin and Ty Marasco battle down into turn number 1. See the inside kind of has a little bit of advantage here early on, but he's able to clear the 1, and the 41 of Dalton Kilroe able to stick his nose up in there now, but not quite clear of that 1, allowing Ty to kind of get in there. But you can see where the car's going to be running. They're not too many drivers will run the apron, but we got a spinner back here with Franklin and the number 70.
Win. Looks like Eric Blunt involved in this one as well. Looks like the 98 of Michael Taylor also involved. Let's take a look back and see what brought this one out. And a little help there from Todd Poston getting into the back of the 73, spinning him around mid-corner right there. And looks like the 6 just trying to dive down to the bottom to avoid the incident, and unfortunately gets into the 98, and that's how those 2 end up getting involved in this incident. So 4 cars involved here. No meatballs, so that's good, and maybe not too much damage on some of these cars. This is a track where you can have maybe a little bit of damage. It's not going to help your handling, certainly in the corners, but you can drive the car with a little bit of damage. I know these drivers out here only get to have 1 fast repair for the night, so I would assume early caution like this, you're probably going to want to try and have the pit crew do as much as possible. Don't want to waste that fast repair, especially since it's not a not a meatball flag or anything like that. But only one other driver, just like towards the front, coming in, and that is Brandon Meir, sacrificing a top 10 spot. He's usually come into the pits, but early caution here, not surprising. I mean, we've seen leagues. I look at the Core Xfinity series. We've seen them come to New Hampshire and somehow go caution free the entire time, and then we've seen just a few weeks ago, not exactly caution free. I think they end up having like 12 or 13 cautions for the race, and that can happen. I mean, you get cold tires out here, you get drivers close to each other. Again, there's multiple lines out here, but you all kind of congregate at some point throughout the corner, so you're going to be close to battling with each other, and cautions can come out very easily because you're already putting so much stress on the right side, especially that right rear, trying to get up and off that corner. Any little kind of bump, it's just going to send it right around.
Yeah, it's just flat, so there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing there, and the weight's already shifted, so a little tap and around they go, and it's kind of what makes it frustrating. I mean, you can get some great racing, and we've seen a lot of great racing at these flat tracks, we'll call them, and it's just how well, each driver have control of their car under them slower speeds where they're trying to apply the throttle to eventually get around. I did some laps around here, just kind of setting up prior to, and I swear every time I do that, something happens with iRacing or SDK. So maybe I'm just going to stop and do it all last minute. And, that would probably be a tragedy, but so we won't do that. But either way, the front, the car just, when you let up and you brake, you can't brake too hard because you don't want to lock up the tires. And then if you pull the tire, make the brake bias to the rear a little bit, you got to watch, because when you come in and you go to stop for your pit stop, you end up missing it or sliding it and not getting the brakes. But you're able to trail brake to the corners better, so you got to be able to adjust that stuff. But we're back under green right now. Cody Griffin does get off to a good start, and Dalton Kilroe gets a run underneath the one of Timer Rasco, able to pull up into P number 2. John Garrett up there in 4th right now, and somebody is going down here. I think that was Heavy Giardini.
17 a Heavy Giardini. Not sure if we got help there or not, but going to keep it green here as he kind of smacks off the wall and keeps it going straight.
So back in the battlefield, is trying to catch the leaders here early on, but the battlefield's always battling back there, and something happens and you try to catch it. But right now it's they got the 0-0 of Gordon Larson down on the inside of 72 of Mike Casey, and you can see him trying to apply power to that car and just the rear end stepping out, but doing a good job catching it there. In P number 8 at the moment, and we go back here just a little bit. Like Nick Dees had a pretty decent run not too long ago, and there's no way he's not running the Western Auto Machine. So what's going on with Trading Pates?
Yeah, it's going to be on your side because I'm seeing him in the typical Western Auto myself, and I do see a few new paint schemes out there with the number 6 Eric Blunt and the Muscle Milk, and I've seen a few other different paint schemes out there, but certainly nothing different there for me on Len McNeese in the Western Auto number 84 here as he makes the pass, moves himself up into 13th, the 6 right behind him, as is the 21. Trying to move their way, the 24, trying to move their way up through the field. But at the front, it is Cody Griffin stretching out now to a 1.6 second lead over Dalton Kilroe. Timer Asco now still with his hands full with John Garrett battling him, and now Tyler Hilton getting in the mix here. So Hilton's going to move up into 4th place. Little teammate on teammate action here early on between the Falcon Motorsports drivers.
Yeah, just a little team on team back there just for a little bit, but we're still green right now, and this track's it's hard. That's all I could say is it's a driver's track. It's patience. It's not slam your foot on the pedal and go as fast as you can. You got to take care of your tires. You got to modulate your fuel pretty much all race, and then obviously you got pit stops, and going to come off of turn 4, and you want to be slowed down enough to get down on the pit lane. So hopefully these they go green here a lot at VVR. Hoping to see it here tonight as well. So we'll see how these drivers kind of handle coming down the pit lane. Hopefully they got some practice in. It took me a minute to kind of realize where it was at. I thought maybe it was back on turn 3, and that's like part of the infield. There's like a little road course in there. So that wasn't it.
Been battling, looks like up at the front, maybe starting to finally settle in. Robert Kahn maybe having a battle there as John Garrett starting to slip back through the field. Hanging on right now to 5th place. Some more battles back in the back as Tim Lee looking to hold on to the spot there in 15th. Eric Blunt battling. I mean, I know we know all these cars are the same, even though it's the Toyota, the Chevy, the Ford, they're all the same, but I'm not, Jimmy. I mean, we got predominantly Chevys out there. We got a few Fords mixed in, but it's the one of 2 Toyotas that's at the front of this field.
I think that the Toyota is the only one that
doesn't matter. I know
where the RPM I think runs a little bit different, though. If I'm not mistaken, Carl, I think it's the only I know it was like that in the legacy cars. I'm not sure about these Xfinity cars because I don't own the Toyota. All I own is the Ford, so I don't know because they're all the same. If you get a setup for New Hampshire from a setup shop, it's for all of them, so it doesn't matter. They're all supposed to run the same. Is it like that? I don't know. I mean, they do look a little different, and you would think that would affect the aerodynamics a little bit, or the way that they when they get into a draft and they push each other a little bit, how the cars line up. But, I'd never really seen too much of a difference, but I'm not at that high a level to be like, I'm on top split where
I can feel everything. Exactly.
that minute would really play a big factor in any kind of race that I'm doing. And I mean, we got great racing here. I don't know if something like that would be a deciding factor, but it's fun to see and peg manufacturers against each other here, and get that Toyota win out here. You got Cody Griffin out front and Eric Blount back there in P19, so surrounding the field with the Toyotas, of course. But looks like the Chevy and with the bow ties is the predominant choice. I don't know, maybe everybody just likes the Mustangs, or excuse me, the Camaros over the Mustangs, Carl.
Well, one thing I'm seeing, just kind of looking through this field, looking at some of the battles, for the most part, everything is settled down here. Everybody kind of single file, other than the battle right here you see between Ty Marasco and John Garrett, maybe getting together here a little bit. Open up the door briefly for Gordon Larson, but what I'm seeing from the three up front, one, he's gapping the field, but two, he's able to get that car all the way down to the bottom and even utilizing that apron a little bit to try and help rotate the car through the corner and through the exit. Now, I don't know how that's going to play out in the long run as far as, tire usage, how much he's actually kind of scrubbing it, but he's wowing it down enough that you see right here, especially through turns 1 and 2. Now, of course, as we watch him now, he's not going to do it, but I see him quite a bit getting down and just getting those left side tires on the apron a little bit. Out of turn number 2, it looked like got a car sideways towards the back there. Now, Hemi Gherardini got into an incident, but I think it was Derek Paulson towards the back, getting a little bit sideways. See right here, he was battling with Mike Hasty and a little bit too tasty on the gas pedal right there. Gets it sideways. He ended up jumping into the pits, so maybe not feeling it here tonight at New Hampshire. New Hampshire not treating him well, so Derek Paulson now jumps into pit lane from that one right there. Hemi Gherardini had some issues as well. Looks like he jumped into the pits. But the rest of the field out there running, it is Cody Griffin, Dalton Kilroe, Tyler Hilton, John Garrett, and Ty Marasco for your top 5. Then you got Larson, Kahn, Hasty, Spalding, and Mitzel for your top 10.
Yeah, everybody's starting to spread out here at VVR at New Hampshire. Obviously, finally catching their groove. A few maybe catching too much throttle coming off the corner, and you just see, riding on board here with Mike Hasty, how much he's kind of like nursing the throttle. Just kind of like
wait.
Like he's off, and he's like off. He's still off. A little bump here, a little bit slowly and full throttle. So. You got to get that car pointed in the right direction before you get the throttle down. You don't want it to be the weight to be shifted before you get in the throttle. You'll just loop it around, and that's kind of what happened there with the 5 of Derek Paulson. And maybe not even what they call light switch, or you just put the gas pedal to the floorboard, but just a little bit too much. And when the car starts going, she goes, and they're able to catch it there, lifting off the gas and kind of working his way down to the infield, and then pulls it in here to, I don't know if it's for the night or what, but I don't see him come back out yet. So I did see Hemi Gherardini come back out here as for the night, though, so still trying to get that number 17 around here and get something going here tonight. Because Hemi's had some up and down races tonight. Not being.
That's put it mildly, I think. I mean, he was in the chat the other night watching the race and saying that he was already calling that he was going to wreck out of that one, and he wasn't even in the race. So it kind of goes to tell you what his season's been like so far. And unfortunately, now he's 2 laps down out there in 22nd. Michael Taylor 1 lap down in 21st, so not even in lucky dog position, which just kind of makes everything even worse. But either way, it is Cody Griffin leading this thing 2.4 seconds ahead. Kilroe is kind of steady to here a little bit. Well, everything's going to get steady now because everybody's going to catch back up. We got a yellow flag out there on the field. Looks like Michael Pratt possibly involved in this one.
Let's see what happened here.
Oh, Dustin Franklin using the apron to get around there, but unfortunately he uses the right rear of Michael Pratt as well. Spins him around. Looks like minimal to no damage to either car, as Pratt's going to get spun back around here. And we'll be under our first yellow, and I would think we're 20 laps into this thing. We still got 100 laps to go. I think you still have to come in for tires. I mean, I know these drivers only have two sets of tires in the pits, but oh man, I guess it's only 20 laps in. Maybe you have to wait. I guess maybe not take tires, but maybe come in and take fuel.
It depends on how somebody feels. Now, if somebody comes in because they burned off their tires and their car feels like poo, then now they're down one more set of tires. Yeah, they still have one more set for the rest of the race, but they have to go, 100 laps. So 50 laps they have to get on a set of tires, which is doable. Obviously, we're gonna see one more stop. But it does look like a lot of cars are just
working at all there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just only the fuel going in on a lot of these cars, and I don't blame them. As much as you're probably like hovering over the mouse, like I want him, I want him. Please.
Yeah,
but you gotta save them.
Yeah, I got that on my my Elgato Stream Deck. I got that hotkey to clear all tires or add all tires or left or right. So it's like, which one do I pick?
And your fingers just rubbing around the outside. I want to.
I need to put a sticker over it. Hold. Hold.
It's a big no. It's a big no over the top.
Don't press it. Don't press it. But I gotta press the red button. But we are here at New Hampshire, Carl. We got 24 laps in. We are on our second caution. Cody Griffin is your leader over Dalton Kilroe, Ty Marasco, Tyler Hilton, John Garrett for your top 5. Biggest mover of the race is the number 24, Tim Lee, sitting back there in P13, up 9 spots.
We did have a couple drivers towards the back electing to take tires on this pit stop. We'll see how quickly they move up through the field on this one, but you take tires there, and you probably should save them. You probably should drive nicely because you got to make them last for a while. But in the same case, you have those fresh tires compared to everybody else now, so you kind of need to take advantage of it and you need to move your way up through the field, and then hope that everything plays out, that it's caution free, and maybe there's only one more stop for the rest of the race, and everybody comes in and takes tires at that point. But you've already gained all that track position, so it's a tough call. It's again why I wouldn't want to be a crew chief for anyone out there. It's not easy. We're back under green flag conditions. Not much has changed through the pit stop there for the top 5 or even the top 10. A lot of the same names and faces still out there, but Cody Griffin back out in front, holding off Dalton Kilroe for the start of this thing. We'll see if he checks out here once again, as he's all the way down there on that bottom trying to utilize that apron again.
Yeah, and I'm just going back here with Hilton Young up a couple spots here, sitting in 17th place, and gives you a good bird's eye view, kind of obviously sitting on top of his car, seeing what the cars are doing in front of number 38 here. And he's running a little bit higher line, but you can see most drivers wanting to stay on that pavement in the corner and not the concrete up on the outside. Concrete tends to rip apart the tires quite a bit quicker, so a lot of the drivers want to get down there on that patch of pavement that they have here at New Hampshire. But a lot of drivers single file at the moment. A few drivers looking down the inside, racing some lead mates right here in front of Hilton Young, but and inside of Dustin Franklin, and that's the number 24 of Tim Lee. Matter of fact, Dustin Franklin going to move outside, finally get around Tim. So he's going to move back into P16 and fall back in the line and wait for his next opportunity to maybe get forward.
Yeah, and it looks, it's so worn in at the on the top line there, and even on the front stretch here, it looks like it's concrete. It actually is paved. Oh, this track is it's completely paved. It's that darker spot down there, kind of like the fresh pavement for those 3 lines there at the bottom that you really want to get down onto. It kind of reminds you of Martinsville, Gross. but it kind of has that same look in the corners where there's the kind of that patch of pavement through the corners to try and give you some extra grip to get around there. But I mean, you see drivers still utilizing that top line as well. I mean, you see them kind of all over the place. As you're riding on board there, you see 3, 4, 5 different lines through the corners. So loving the action out here so far. As looked like a good save. We're under caution here. I think that was the 91 there of Sean Wilder was the one that I believe was a little bit sideways on this one. We'll see if that's what brought out the caution.
I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's here. I think somebody threw the yellow flag. Here it is. 91.
Yeah, that is 91 getting into the back of the 19 on this one. So I was right. The 91 was involved. 19 gets sideways there as well. And it's going to bring us under another caution here.
Yeah, pretty decent catch though. Obviously caught early. Maybe Tim's got the caution button on a fast standby, like typically when Carl would be in the car. We're like, dang, wow, that caution come out so fast. But obviously the cautions are here tonight on the short track. But you can just see just that little bump able to upset the 19, and 19 able to catch it. All the drivers did a fantastic job getting that car under control here. But we are going to go back live here, and we are at lap number 31, so still 90 laps to go here at New Hampshire. I wanted to call it Martinsville. With some pit stops here for the drivers to get some more fuel, and hopefully to work their way up to maybe a little better point, maybe at least another. I'm sure they would like to get at least another 20 laps at this first set of tires. Some drivers obviously are already taking tires, so they would like to probably have this thing go green. So the other drivers got to come in, and then a caution come out once everybody goes in and they're still out there, able to get up on that lead lap by themselves. There's a lot of different options they could do while, strategies, trying to, get the lead here. Short tracks, obviously with the pit stops, when it happens, you end up going a lap down. So under caution is essentially is a great time to go in and get the service to your vehicle done. So, even if you had a bad pit stop, you just end up working to the back of the field and not a couple laps down if you happen to have that bad pit stop under green. So not a bad call, and especially if you're in the back, you're not losing anything. You're only gaining benefits. So whether it's more fuel or new tires or some repairs. But right now we are going to get ready to go back green as we're doubling back up here on lap number 32 of 120. Cody Griffin is still your leader with Dalton Kilroe, Ty Marasco, Tyler Hilton, Robert Kahn for your top 5.
Yeah, same leader for the whole night so far, with Cody Griffin at the front. Had the pole checked out in the first run. A couple cautions, 3 cautions now in the books. We'll see if the 3 can be beaten at any point here tonight, but right now he gets a good launch here on the restart. The 1 of Ty Marasco also gets a good start here on the inside. Going to dive it down, utilize that apron here to try and hook around and get a run on the 41, but slips up off of that apron, and the car gets tight on him. He's going to fall behind it now and move into 3rd place. Tyler Hilton back here in 4th. Robert Kahn rounding out your top 5. Gordon Larson, John Garrett doing some battling for 6th and 7th.
One thing about all these short tracks car, it really does group them back up, and they really do get some some pretty good battling in before they either the tires heat up or they just decide to go single file, or just losing too much time to somebody like the 3 of Cody Griffin out there, nobody to kind of be around him, ruin his line, take any air away, just got to worry about maybe somebody dive bombing, but it's the 41 of Dalton Kilroe behind you. Typically not a driver to dive bomb, especially with so many laps remaining, so I wouldn't have any too much concern from the if I was the 3 of the 41. But you can see him coming down there on that apron. That's the one of Ty Marasco, almost like trying to throw a slider. Carl. So the 3 drivers up front working to start pulling away. Robert Kahn a little bit loose coming out of turn number 4, and that number 21 Budweiser car. But Tyler Hilton right on that bumper trying to take advantage, not able to quite get around during that little mistake. Mike Hasty back in the 72, up 5 spots in 6. John Garrett's just slipping back to the 7th. Gordon Larson in a 0-0 in 8th, and Dustin Franklin is falling back to 9th at the moment. DJ Mitchell up 4 spots in 10th. Cole Spalding in 11th. Michael Pratt, after having spun out a little bit earlier, finds himself in P number 12, working his way through, but a little bit of spinach back there by the 6 of Eric Blunt. He just goes down to the inside of that muscle milk machine. Tim Lee right behind him, trying to take advantage. He puts a little bit of pressure on it, on Eric, trying to get him to go up the track so he can get on by.
Battling here between Brandon Meir in the 14 and Tim Lee battling right behind Eric Blunt. He's got a mirror full of that battle as he tries to work his way back up through the field. Again, a couple of drivers took some tires on that lap 22 pit stop and tried to make their way through the field. I believe the 77 of Michael Pratt was one of them. He came back in on lap number 30 to top off on fuel. But one of the drivers that took tires is now up to 7th place, and that is Dustin Franklin, working his way back up through this field and trying to get his way all the way to the front, utilize those fresh tires, and make a run for himself. But Cody Griffin still leading the way, not checking out like he did that first time. So not sure if he maybe learned a little bit, realized, you know what, I have to just kind of hang out a little bit. I don't need to drive away. I need to save some tires, because clearly that's what Dalton Kilrow was doing behind me in that first run. So now maybe trying to do the same thing and not wanting to burn it off in case this does go on a long run. But I would expect we're going to see something, now that we'll have a nice little green flag run. Hopefully we'll get out there to green flag pit stops kind of in the middle of this race, because we're about a third of the way through right now. Plenty of racing yet to go.
Yeah, plenty of racing remaining here with VVR at New Hampshire, and it's obviously a great night. Everybody's inside. Hopefully their computers are their mini heaters, keeping them warm in whatever space they're in. They draw so much power these days. I mean, that's exactly what they are, little space heaters. Because I know in the summertime I'm cooking in my office, and I end up the AC's cranked, fans are going, and but yeah, with this cool weather, I'm sure it's quite nice in whatever room that you may be racing in. Or maybe even in VR, Carl. I mean, we talked about the heat, how much heat generated on your face. Those things can be.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think for the next time we're going to get the snowstorm like we got this time. I think that's what I need. I think I'm just going to go out and get myself an Oculus and just VR shovel out there, keep me nice and warm out there.
VR shovel.
I mean, why not? It'll keep me nice and sweaty for sure. At least my face, my fingers will still freeze off, because that was really the biggest pain. Is the gloves that I had were not exactly working, and my fingers were absolutely frozen. Yeah, I certainly would keep my face warm for a little Oculus out there to shovel.
Yeah, you guys, I guess need to get some of them AI robots to do that stuff, where you can just be inside, and almost like a remote control. Yeah, I don't miss that part of the north. The cold weather and the snow. We miss the snow. Don't miss shoveling, that's for sure. But I obviously hopefully everybody will keep warm. No busted pipes, and your heaters keep working, and electricity stays on for obviously this weird weather that we're having this time of year, and it seems to be kind of all over the place at the moment. But we're still having a great race here tonight at New Hampshire. We're 43 laps in, Carl, about a third of the way through right now. And Cody Griffin is still your leader from the pole.
And seeing there that the 5 deciding to park it, not feeling too well out there tonight. So I think probably the better idea to just kind of park it. This track will make you nauseous if you're not already. So certainly, hopefully, enjoy the stream out here a little bit better than the racing for Derek Paulson. But yeah, I mean. Getting back to the shoveling, my daughter actually enjoyed it. And anytime she came out there with her snowsuit on, she was basically just like ripping the shovel out of my hands or my wife's hands and trying to do it herself. And she was not
better take advantage of that now.
5 years old, and yeah, she was shoveling some big heavy piles as well. So I was proud of her, and I tried to convince the wife that to just say, well, let's strap her to the hood of the car. I'll hold one leg out one window. You hold like the other leg out the other window. And just use her like a plow. She can hold the shovel down to the ground, and we can plow the driveway that way. She didn't buy it though for some reason.
Nah, but, I don't know why.
Maybe next time.
Women always, I should say, wives always destroying some good ideas.
I
know. But they definitely. Yeah, I mean, obviously, kids, you take, when they're young like that, they do stuff, and I just, typically, my kids will do stuff if I ask them, but I have to ask them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the one day I was just standing in the kitchen, and my son comes out, one of my sons come out, and I see him lift the trash, and he notices it was full. He actually grabbed the trash and took it out, and I was like, now I know why you stayed home from school, you're actually sick. It's not like a common occurrence. Like, I mean, he'll take out the trash, but typically it's like, hey, you take out the trash. And he's like, yeah, sure. But he did it on his own with no prompting. So that was fun. So I never really knew he was sick. That he just kind of did it on his own. I at least joke about it anyways. It was kind of funny. But right now, 47 laps in. Cody Griffin. I don't know if anybody has anything for that free tonight. The only thing is maybe Dalton Kilrow. You got Dalton Kilrow and Tom Rask on here, but is Cody kind of now starting to back off his tires a little bit, seeing that this thing's going green? Is Dalton Kilrow starting to push a little bit harder, trying to get the 3 to kind of burn up tires? And Tom Rask, we've seen him in some battles, so to see him right there in the back bumper of the 41 is always good. But the top 3 running nose to tail. Here, not quite the halfway mark. And then your next good battles here, you got a couple back here with the 0-0 of Gordon Larson and DJ Mitchell in the 4th, Ray Justice Machine. And then obviously, I think the battlefield here back tonight is starting right behind the top 10. Led by Michael Pratt at the moment, but you got the 19 of Kate Green, you got Cole Spalding in there, and the number 49. The 14 of Brandon. You're coming back up through the field. Len McNeese in the 84 and Eric Blunt all doing a fantastic job, running pretty close to each other. And then you actually got a battle back here, and maybe not where they want to be, but Henry Giardini, Michael Taylor battling out here back in P number 20 as they just made Henry just got around Michael Taylor here. Not number 50, but yeah, good battles all over the track. Just everybody kind of around their, I guess, crewmates or iRating mates or whatever you want to call them, and the skill levels are about the same in these pretty good little chunks here of this track here tonight.
Well, it's kind of funny looking back at the races here so far. Race number 1 for Cody Griffin at Auto Club was his best race of the season so far, finishing in 5th place after starting in 13th. Then you go to the second race at Chicagoland, led 70 of the 100 laps, finished 15th. So clearly, and he had the fastest lap there. Then last time out at Kentucky, fastest lap of the race, led 33 laps, but finished 22nd. So I'm not sure if Cody Griffin leading right now is a good thing. I mean, he's led the most laps, he's led a ton of laps, and both times hasn't finished inside the top 14 for the night. So let's see how this one plays out. He's certainly leading a ton of laps here at the beginning. I'm pretty sure
if you don't win, it's
all 51 laps here so far.
Yeah, statistics showing that the ones that you're reading off, yeah, I would have to agree. Obviously doing a great job getting around here and just being in the wrong spot at the wrong time here. But Dalton Kilrow bringing it in here on lap number 53. So, not quite that halfway mark, and is going to get himself more than likely some new tires in short pitting over these drivers. Could be the call that's needed here to maybe get around Cody Griffin so he doesn't have to battle. I'm sure it would be easier to pass him in the pits than it would be up on the track. But you can see the one on the inside. Is he going to come down? No, they're going to both stay out one more time here. Oh, the 3 getting a little loose. You can see him sawing that wheel.
Cody working here to try and stay in front of Ty Marasco, as Marasco is really getting it all the way down on that apron. Now he's going to stay up a little bit higher this time. Now he's going to get it down there, get it rotated around here again. But you see now Ty Marasco getting a little bit loose. I think using those tires trying to get ahead of Cody Griffin, but kind of surprised. Only 31 laps on that tank of fuel for Dalton. Oh, so that seems like a really low amount. But now here comes Ty Marasco into the pits. Also have Hemi Giardini in there, John Garrett as well. So pit stop starting here, but it's a short fuel window here, the way it looks. I mean, only a little bit over 30 laps right now. The 3 is still out there and right in front of Dalton Kilrow right now. I'm sure the 3 wouldn't mind a caution coming out right now. But he's got the lead now over Dustin Franklin by 5.5 seconds as Franklin has moved up into second with those newer tires. But I'm sure we'll see a lot of these leaders making their way into the pits very soon.
Yeah, the longer I think Cody stays out, he's going to end up hurting himself here too, like Dalton Kilrow. Dalton Kilrow's going to get back in the lead lap here. So I'm sure the 3's really thinking about getting down in there now, but you're going to watch the 41 kind of walk away from the 3 as you see the 3 just sawing that wheel in order to keep it under control here on lap number 56. And Carl, I don't think it's necessarily a fuel thing at the moment. I think they were out there 50-some laps on the first set of tires. So coming in and grabbing some new shoes for their cars here tonight, definitely you're going to see them kind of, those numbers kind of start going back up. You got like Cody Griffin running in the almost 33s. And then we'll go back to Dalton Kilrow's lap, 31.3. So over a second and a half faster. And that was passing the 3. So there's definitely a lot of speed between new and old tires. But here comes Cody Griffin. So down in the pits here, lap number 57. Everybody's starting to take those. That's going to leave Dustin Franklin, your leader, here.
And I think you pretty much guarantee that Cody Griffin is not going to come out in front of Dalton Kilrow just from the short pitting right there. Kilrow coming in on lap number 52. And now Cody Griffin coming in here on lap number 58. So it's definitely a short pit here for the 41 to get himself in front of the 3. We haven't seen a lot of these drivers come into the pits yet. Dustin Franklin still out there. Mike Hasty now was in second. Now he's going to come in from second place. Cade Green and Michael Pratt are currently third and fourth, going to move up to second and third here in a second. But they pit on lap number 30 to top off on fuel, so they can go even further here and kind of in hopes of a caution coming out and really kind of shifting their race momentum in their favor as the 4 of DJ Mitchell coming out of pit lane. A good-looking Ray Bestis, number 4. But Dustin Franklin now is going to come in from the lead, so Cade Green will end up taking over the lead this time by.
Yeah, and this is here now is time for the drivers that came in early to kind of extend their laps and to keep things going. And, obviously we've seen great green flag runs here at VVR, and more than likely they'll be out there they need to come in and take tires and fuel. But let's see the Ford working their way from 5 and 19. Get back on the lead lap, and that's all the way back there in P number 20. So, yeah, I mean they're looking good. The longer they're out there, and if they're to get a caution towards the end of their fuel run, they would be the ones on new tires, and they'd be out front. So there'd be a lot of drivers, wishing that they would have had that same strategy at that moment. But right now, as long as it's green, everything should be pretty evened out. The drivers up front right now are just kind of waiting and hoping for maybe a caution to come out in order to swing things their way just a little bit more. And that would give Cade Green, Michael Pratt, Cole Spalding, all their drivers up front that were in here or a little bit later than the others that already have pitted. And you see Spalding now in the pits as we're now on lap number 62. So just over the halfway mark, Carl.
Yeah, and looks like Len McNeese is still out there after pitting on lap number 22, as is Tim Lee, really stretching out that fuel. So it looks like they can make it a good 40 laps here on fuel now. We got a lot more than 40 laps to get to the end of this thing. So it looks like we're either going to see one more splash and go, or maybe those drivers are going to use those second set of tires on that last pit stop. But now Len McNeese and Tim Lee both into the pits. The top three from earlier, Dalton Kilroe, Ty Marasco, and Cody Griffin, that is how they're running right now, because Dalton Kilroe's short pit on both of them got him to the lead. Ty Marasco coming in 3 laps earlier than Cody Griffin got him in front of him as well. But it's getting a little tight now between the 1 and the 3 as Cody Griffin reeling him in. Marasco getting around to Michael Taylor, who has yet to come in. He pit on lap number 30. Now Eric Blunt is going to come in from 3rd place. Still not fully through this pit stop window here, and it's good to see that we're getting a green flag pit stop after a few early cautions in this race.
Yeah, it just took them a minute to kind of get their groove, Carl. I mean, it's kind of the nature of the beast of these flat tracks. It's a gust of wind, I think, would send the rear end of these cars around if you got on the throttle wrong, especially with the cold tires. But getting on the swing of things here, finally getting in the drivers out there getting a rhythm. You can see the great racing, even with, if it's a lap car, making a pass, whatever it may be, everybody out there trying to do a good job. But Michael Pratt now down in the pits here for some fresh shoes and fuel. K Green is still your leader in at number 19, hoping and praying for a caution here tonight to help that 19 out just a little bit. Dalton Kilroe is now back in the P number 2. Ty Marasco behind him in 3rd. Cody Griffin back to 4th. Sean Wilder. We haven't talked much about Sean here. 91, he's got involved in some earlier, but sitting back there in P number 7, up 14 spots from the start. And then Tyler Hilton sitting 8th. Gordon Larson in 9th, and Mike Hasty right off the top 10.
I want to thank our sponsors here for the series, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. And a big shout out to you, the fans out there in CRN Nation as well. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that we have to offer, as this is not our last race of the week. We got the makeup race for 191 Motorsports going to be happening tomorrow night. So we got a little Friday night lights, Friday night racing here for CRN. So tune in tomorrow night for that. It is.
Yeah. Give yourself some Daytona action here with the 191 Motorsports as they asked nicely if we would pull a broadcast out for them on Friday night. Typical night off, but with them, we talked about that snow and weird weather. Well, it ruined their race just this past Monday. So we had Monday off. Might as well go ahead and take. We had Sunday off. Because even the core race decided to push off for the evening too.
Well, that's also Sunday.
Yeah. I'm just saying this last Sunday. Yeah, I'm just saying this last Sunday. You guys didn't do it. So, here we go. Busy week all around. Busy work week, busy fun week, busy week here at CRN. And on top of that, I have 2 kids' birthdays this weekend. I have one that's on Saturday and one that's on Sunday. So that should be fun too.
And coincidentally, the core race that got postponed was at Daytona also. It was just at the Daytona Rally Cross course. So maybe we'll blame weather in Florida for once. We'll just say there was some kind of bad weather at Daytona for that night, as we couldn't do the 191 or Core Premier Series. But looks like the pit cycle, I believe, has fully completed now. I'm seeing it looks like everybody has come into the pits and made it their green flag pit stop. So Dalton Kilroe back out to the lead. Cody Griffin has made it around Ty Marasco to move back up into 2nd place, and now he's trying to hunt down the 41. You see him just got now Eric Blunt in between him and the 41, but not too much room. You see the 6 of Eric Blunt battling because he hit a lap number 63. He's got fresher tires by 11 laps compared to the 41, so he'd like to get back on the lead lap.
I was just going to say that he wants to get back in the lead lap, and he's right there getting the inside, but he's also opening the door there for the 3 of Cody Griffin and trying
You're
to...
tracking it.
Yeah, they're tracking it just a little bit, but, obviously battling hard, obviously trying to get back in the lead lap, but it's not easy to pass here. It's really easy to overdrive here. Doing a fantastic job keeping those cars off each other at the moment. Cody Griffin wants to go with one or the other. Would prefer to go with the 6. But the 6 has not been able to hold it down at the bottom. You see the 3 catching the apron to help that car rotate. I've seen this happen a few times here tonight. You're able to get alongside your leader, Dalton Kilrow, here on lap number 72.
Yeah, battle for the lead, and the 41, I think I had to check up there, might have almost gotten the back of the 6 of Eric Blunt, as Blunt was able to get back around, get his lap back, and it's allowed Cody Griffin to get back to the lead as he has a rough exit out of turn number 4. But Kilroe's going to stay behind him. He's going to stay to that second line here through the corner as Griffin's going to get it turned down the track, get it on that apron, and rotate out and ensure that the pass is complete. Maybe even a brush of the wall there from the 41. Now Griffin going to go back to work on the 6 of Eric Blunt as Blunt's going to stay a little bit wide here. He wants to stay in the lead lap. He wants to get away from these guys. He doesn't want to get in the mix of things, I would assume, but he's kind of stuck right now because he's got newer tires than Dalton Kilroe, a little bit newer tires than Cody Griffin, but Griffin's got the pace here tonight, and he's like battling side by side with him, working that car off the corners. And this thing is flat, and the way you have to kind of work the throttle off the corners, the way Cody Griffin is working those rears, it almost seems like tonight's driving like a flat track. I mean, driving like a dirt track.
I was going to say flat track? Yes.
Yes. Both.
Yeah, definitely both. And it might even be more fun if it actually had some dirt on it. Maybe they should throw some dirt on New Hampshire instead of Bristol. But we'll see how these drivers finish out here tonight. The 6 continuing to work on the 3. I'm sure Eric's having a good old time. Trying to get back on the lead lap. Like, let me go by, blah, blah, blah. And then, I can see the leader be like, why are you in a lap car? Why are you being so aggressive? Well, he's trying to get back on the lead lap. So the 6 hanging out back there. NP number 15. Just at you can see the end of the field for sure. But great battle up front, and it might be, what the 41 might need from the 6 to put some pressure and try to make them burn up those tires just that little bit as we are working our way down here as we're on lap 76.
Yeah, 44 laps left in this race, and plenty of time. Still got one more pit stop that these drivers are going to have to make as well. So it's about time we step aside here onto this nice green flag run. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love it.
Back alive here after the sights and sounds here from the Virtual Velocity Racing Series here at New Hampshire, as we are under caution right in the midst of some pit stops. This is really going to mix things up because there was plenty of cars that have yet to come in to make their pit stop. Your leaders already came in and made theirs, but you see right there was the 49 of Cole Spaulding getting sideways, bringing out this caution. And man, a lot of drivers benefiting on this one. Tyler Hilton, currently your leader. Dustin Franklin, John Garrett, Michael Pratt, all still out there yet to make their pit stop. I'm sure you'll see them come in right here under caution. They're going to slide back in the field here a little bit with everyone else. You know, the drivers that have already came in, like Dalton Kilroe, Ty Marasco, Cody Griffin, they'll be good to go, and they will stay out. But certainly going to pick up quite a few positions here. So what a break.
Yeah, break for a few of these drivers here towards the race. And I guess the only I guess I won't say bad thing, good thing is that the caution came out as you know, the drivers that just came in, Dalton Kilroe and gang, all up front, was that everybody else is going to probably pit. They're probably going to stay out, and the people coming in now, they're just going to have like maybe 2 or 3 lap newer tires, and under caution, you know, their tires are, I guess for the most part, just warmed up. So I don't think it's going to be a bad thing for these drivers, and obviously some of these laps going away underneath caution. You're looking at about 29 laps still remaining here, as we're on lap number 92 of 120. Dalton Kilroe is your leader with Ty Marasco, Robert Kahn, Cody Griffin, and Gordon Larson for your top 5. Mike Hasey, Dustin Franklin, Tyler Hilton, John Garrett, Michael Pratt for your top 10. Keep us moving with the race. Michael Pratt in number 77.
We get this thing back to green this time by, and we'll see who's got the right car at the right time here, because we are getting down to the end of it here. Still plenty of racing yet to go, but we're definitely getting down towards the end of it here. Maybe not necessarily go time yet, but we've seen these drivers drive pretty hard, especially you know, you've seen Cody Griffin driving that thing all the way down on the apron. You've seen the one of Ty Marasco driving that thing all the way down on the apron as well. You got Dalton Kilroe, your leader, electing the outside line, and not sure what that was all about. I mean, maybe the car drives better with the left rear banged in a little bit and a little teammate action there. Or maybe
I say
fell asleep at the wheel. I don't know.
Maybe he sneezed.
Yeah. Well, bless you, Ty Marasco, as we're going to get this thing back on our way, one way or another. Yeah, talk about a head scratcher there to start this thing. But back to the restart zone, back to the loud pedal is the 41 of Kilroe. He's going to get that banged up number 41 out to the lead here. You got the 21 of Robert Kahn. Haven't talked about the Bud all night here tonight.
3 wide.
And maybe not going to talk to him anymore, because the 3 of Cody Griffin dives to the inside, 3 wide. He's got that thing rotating around there. He wants to get back up to the lead and have a chance at this win. We talked about you know, what I consider maybe the curse now through 3 races. He's led too many laps here tonight to have a chance at the win. He's trying to prove me wrong. But you got Kilroe and Marasco up front now. It's going to be kind of tough.
BJ getting a little loose back here.
I was going to say almost a damn good save there, but unfortunately tags the front end into the wall. It's going to stay green until right now, because it looks like Sean Wilder involved in an incident here on the backstretch just as we come back to live.
So what happened to Sean here in the number 91. Got involved a little bit earlier. Oh, tried to lock it up, but and tried to save it. Looks like he hit the brakes a little bit, and Tim Lee gave him a little tap on the bumper, send him around. So yeah, it's really easy to lose the rear end here at New Hampshire. As you can see, drivers have been doing it here and there all night long, even coming off the corner. We've seen them doing the seesaw shuffle over there in the cockpit, trying to catch their car. But yeah, caution flies here yet again. For I think the 5th time here tonight at lap number 96 of 120. 25 laps to go. Shouldn't be nothing but a chicken wing here as to finish things up, but I'm sure some of those drivers that were stayed out a little bit longer or from that caution are thankful here. I'm sure, I think it's DJ Mitchell was able to get a lap back, and then I think Eric Blount is next. So see if there is a lucky dog this time around as we're getting things down to the wire here, coming down to the final few laps here with Virtual Velocity Racing. With the Xfinity cars, I got a nice little 21 race shootout here for the first beginning of the year, and I believe the next they'll have another 21 race shootout with the trucks. I believe it is. I think. Don't quote me on that yet. I'll have to. If you want further updates, you can always visit them over there on their Facebook website, Virtual Velocity Racing, or you can catch the schedule and points over on coreracingleague.com. I have it at the bottom of the screen there. You can find all the leagues that run with CRN over there, so everybody gets a chance to kind of go one spot and check out who's leading the points and who's won race or what race and what the schedule is if you're trying to plan ahead of what if you like a specific track or whatnot. But Dalton Kilroe likes them all here as he's now in first place over Ty Marasco, Cody Griffin, Gordon Larson Jr., and Mike Hasty for your top 5. Tyler Hilton, Kate Green, Michael Pratt, John Garrett, and Dustin Franklin round out your top 10. Tim Lee, Brandon Meyer, Robert Kahn, Michael Taylor, Hilton Young will be for your top 15. Then Eric Blount, Sean Wilder, DJ Mitchell, Hemi Gerdine, Todd Poston, Cole Spalding, Len McNeeson, Derek Paulson rounding out your 23 car field. We are too wide. We are running down the back stretch, so getting ready to go green.
I'm going to go racing here with the last 20 plus laps to go here in this race, and we'll see if Dalton Kilroe has got himself his second win on the season. Ty Marasco is going to finally get to the top step of the podium. Either way, Ty looking for another good finish here tonight. Gordon Larson right now in third, trying to hold off Cody Griffin, who's definitely got his eyes set on the front of this field as well. Pace car's in, green flag is out, and we're back to racing.
Back to racing, looks like a pretty good start from the field to head down in turn number 1. It does look like Dalton Kilroe is going to catch the advantage here as the 1 and the 3 will need to paddle off here. So you can see it there, Dalton Kilroe in front of Ty Marasco. And if that 3 is going to come down towards that apron, it's going to drive right down towards there underneath the 1. 1 gets hung out to the outside, opens the door kind of for the 0-0.
3 is fighting it, sawing it off the corner, dirt tracking it, going to hold on to it. That's the main thing right there, but they're both going to lose a little bit of time here as Kilroe trying to check out now. A little asphalt slider there from the 3 is going to get in front of the 1. You see him still working that wheel, and man, I just forget the hood cam looking forward. I want a hood cam looking back at the driver and watching the wheel sawing back and forth on that number 3 as Cody Griffin working it here tonight. Got himself back into second, but he's got a little gap he's going to have to reel in here to Dalton Kilroe before the end of this. He's got 1 lap newer tires. It's not enough to be that big of a difference here tonight. And now the 1 of Ty Marasco going to try and go back to work on him to try and take back second place. Dalton Kilroe just ran the fastest lap of the race here tonight. The first driver in the 30-second range, 30.97. We got another caution here on the Speedway. Looks like John Garrett involved in this one. I think I seen the 72 possibly involved as well. Right there, looks like the 02 of Tyler Hilton getting into the 72 of Mike Hasty. And I think, yeah, the 02 ends up getting down here into the 66 as well. Some heavy impact there on the 66. Going to bring out a late race caution.
Yeah, late race caution as we're trying to finish this thing up here tonight. Just getting that car just kind of a little bit too much throttle, getting excited, getting to the end here. But 19 laps to go, and obviously decisions need to be made. Do you have a set of tires still left? Do you have enough fuel? All of the above for a pit strategy and a run to the end as we wind down here tonight with the Virtual Velocity Racing at New Hampshire. And Dalton Kilrow is currently your leader over Cody Griffin, Ty Marasco, Gordon Larson, and Cade Green.
I want to once again thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. Want to thank our series sponsors here as well, with Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. I want to thank all these drivers for coming out here as well. Another good showing out here with 23 drivers. Unfortunately, only 22 right now, with Derek Paulson pulling out a little bit early, not feeling too well, but hopefully he'll be feeling better for our next race out there. And speaking of our next race out, trying to get up the schedule here. Next race is going to go to Echo Park Speedway, but the old Atlanta. We're going to have the older Atlanta, where you actually had to drive the car a little bit, not the super speedway version that we're dealing with now, because the race right after that and the one after that are going to be super speedways, because you got old Atlanta, you got Daytona, and then Echo Park, the new version, for their next 3 races before they have an off week at the end of February. So we got a couple of super speedways coming up here, at least one of them, and one of them that is kind of a faux super speedway there with Echo Park, but certainly some good ones before we head to the little end of winter break.
The end of winter break is beginning for some. Still plenty of cold weather ahead, as it's usually the coldest time of the year until about I think it's May-ish, I think, down here in February. February is usually when we hit the cold weather. I can't remember. It snowed last year.
Done. I'm done with the cold. I'm calling it that in February. I already told my grandmother
if there's homes for sale right down the road.
if that punk ass groundhog sees his shadow or doesn't see it or whatever, that means more winter. I'm driving out to Punxsutawney, and there's going to be a burning stump somewhere in near Pittsburgh. So I'm just throwing that out there right now. You heard it live. This is it's premeditated, yes. But I'm done with this winter. This winter is done with me.
I keep trying to get Carl. I keep enticing him that there's homes in the neighborhood for sale. With good internet, warmer weather.
And I told you multiple times, I will gladly allow you to adopt me and be your 35th kid. I'm fine with that. That's fine. I'll call you daddy. It's okay.
But we're gonna wrap things up here tonight. We got Dalton Kilrow leading this thing as we got back out of green. We've got 16 laps to go. Cody Griffin in that second spot, trying to get a good finish here tonight, as he's started on the pole, led a lot of laps here, and now finds himself in position to chase that number 41 around here tonight. Got some good battling going on back here with Cade Green and Mike Hasty. Cade Green currently up one of the biggest movers of the race, sitting 5th, up 14 spots, but Mike Hasty threatening to take that spot away. But it does look like Cade Green is able to get that 19 to stick on the outside and secure P5 for the time being. Brandon Meyer is back up in P7, Dustin Franklin up in 8th. Tim Lee up 13 spots, breaking in that top 10. And just like I said, Carl, this is where Tim Lee's home is. He's right there in that right there at the top 10. Michael Taylor is in 10th. Michael Pratt back up in 11th, up 12 spots. Sean Wilder in 12th. Robert Collin, Hilton Young, Eric Blount, John Garrett, Hemi Gardini, Tyler Hilton, DJ Mitchell, Chris Spalding, Todd Poston, Len McNeese, and Derek Paulson.
We're down close to the final 10 laps of this thing, and we do have some cars out there with some newer tires. Looks like nobody took tires on that pit stop right there, but the pit stop before that on lap number 91, one of the cars that took tires was Cade Green. And speaking of cautions, we got another one here. Keep an eye on that number 19 before this thing ends, as he's now going to be restarting on the inside of that third row with some fresher tires. See if he's got anything for these leaders before this thing finishes out. But trying to see what brought this caution out. Looks like Hemi Gardini possibly getting a little loose off the corner, and really nothing the four could do on that one.
Yeah, you've seen the tires kind of lock up, and Hemi was probably trying to get out of the way. Wasn't realizing there's somebody on the outside. Ended up getting up into the 49 after checking up in front of the 4. But yeah, 17 going for a ride, 4 nowhere to go, and the 49 getting squished up against the wall. So tough break for some of these drivers. Again, late race cautions are probably the worst to get involved in. No time to recover. So hopefully they got a quick repair in the pits there and get that all kind of slapped together and get back moving forward. But yeah, Dalton Kilrow will remain your leader, as I'm sure Cody Griffin was not quite too happy with this, because it did look like he was starting to get a run in that number 41.
And I think that's what he kind of needs. He needs this thing to go green a little bit so he can work on him and try and eventually, figure out maybe if there is a weakness, if there's a turn that he's a little bit better at, or if he can rotate a little bit more in one of the corners compared to the other one. Or just figure something out to try and get a run on that 41 Dalton Kilrow to get his first win of the season. It's certainly, I believe he's led the most laps this season. It's just getting that first W and getting up there. And it's maybe the first time at least he can come up here and talk to us. Again, his best finish of the season so far was at the season opener, finishing in 5th place after not leading any laps. So again, it's been even better for him after that in regards to getting up front, but not so much on the finishes. So hopefully at least tonight he can finish this thing out and get himself a good finish here to head to Old Atlanta for next week. But still plenty of racing yet to go. This thing is coming down to 10 laps to go, but really, Jimmy, it's far from over.
A lot can happen in 10 laps, that's for sure, unless they're under caution. So hopefully they are able to finish this thing from once they get back going. The lights are still on the pace car. They should go out this time by and double up for a green flag next time by after this one. But it does look like, obviously, you got Dalton Kilrow up there. We talked about the 3 trying to get his first win. But Tyler Marasco obviously trying to finish well here tonight as well. Look for that 00, and then you mentioned the 19 of Cade Green on some newer tires on the inside, so it may be a good opportunity for even that 19 to get on the podium here tonight. So be watching a few cars up front, be watching the cars in the pack. Hopefully everybody gets the finish they would like to have, but we're only going to have one winner here tonight in New Hampshire.
Big thing is a 3 has got to get a restart here. He's got to hang with the 41 of Kilrow, and he's got to hope that somehow the teammates don't work together here on the restart and keep him out there, because that one-time Marasco can certainly play spoiler here for the 3 of Cody Griffin, and I'm sure Cade Green would not mind that at all. He'd love to get up there and get a chance to come up here and talk to us as well. Pace car lights are out, pulling into the pits. We've got 9 laps to go here at the line. Back on the loud pedals of 41 of Dalton Kilrow. Good start from both sides. Definitely a better start on the inside line, as a 3 is going to send it off behind the 41 as Marasco slides up. They don't make any kind of contact, but very close racing off of turn number 2. Both drivers having to work the wheel, and that's going to allow Marasco to get a bit of a run down into turn number 3. He's going to dive it down to the bottom, almost down onto the grass. Asphalt slider in front of the 3, just barely. Cody Griffin tries to pull the crossover. Not going to happen this time by Dalton Kilrow. Loving all this action in his mirror and not involving him, as they're both going to go down to the apron here. You see the 3 maybe using the bumper here a little bit to try and move Marasco up the line. Not going to happen just yet, but now Marasco gets a little loose coming off the corner. Heck of a battle for second place.
Yeah, Marasco's got the 3 kind of used up, and Marasco's able to use that apron that you've seen the 3 kind of using earlier, and there wasn't many people using it down there on the apron, but basically what it's doing, it's able to kind of get dive into the turn. And a lot like another width of track for the car to kind of slide up and get easy on the throttle. So it's going to be tough to pass these NFRD cars to get coming away with a victory here tonight for the 3. We do have 7 laps to go, and Cody Griffin's going to have to play his cards right and possibly sneak away with this one. Maybe some teammate crime.
Well, it could happen here yet, because that one, regardless if it's teammate or not, as the one Marasco gets wicked loose off the corner there, trying to get a run on Dalton Kilrow. Is going to lose some ground now back to Cody Griffin, as the one was definitely harassing the 41 there for a few laps and almost had a run on him a couple times. You've seen Dalton Kilrow had to kind of go down to the bottom and utilize an apron for a little defense But looking back here, Cade Green still hanging out there in 5th place. Brandon Muir right behind him in 6th place. Behind them, you got Mike Hasty in 7th, Tim Lee, Michael Pratt, Robert Kahn rounding out your top 10. But we're down to 4 laps to go this time at the line.
Laps are ticking by here as we get leader in this race for sure. Tim Lee obviously in that top 10, trying to break maybe up in the top 5. Biggest movers are tied 15 spots for 3 different drivers, so that's quite impressive for Carl, for so many drivers to kind of come in here and have some race success. It's a true story for each individual of those drivers, and then obviously the battle up front between the teammates and the 3 of Cody Griffin. I heard
some tires. I don't know if that was just no, it is going to be yellow flag here. We're going to have a green-white checker. We're going to have overtime here at New Hampshire. As you see right there, there's already starting on the inside. And, coming back up on the track. That's not what you want to do right there, but I think it started even well before that.
Yeah, it did. We're gonna go back here and kind of what we got. I think I want to say Mike Hasty. Is it Mike Hasty? No. Oh, Sean Wilder. That's 73. Dustin Franklin. There, where's he at? Right here. Back it up.
It's like actually the 02 came down, got into the 73. That's kind of what started this one. Just looked like the 02 maybe trying to look for a pass down the inside, but gonna bring out another caution here, and that's it's gonna be the second one on Tyler Hilton. He was starting to move his way back up through the field, but unfortunately now gonna have to serve a drive-through penalty for getting another penalty on that one. And definitely a rough re-entry back up onto the track as well, and collecting a few other vehicles.
It always stinks to have a pretty decent race and then have one little mistake kind of erase it. Vice the other way around. You have a little mistake in the beginning, and you're able to get a comeback, and it feels good that you at least came back from it. But to have like your whole race kind of thrown out the window from a late race mistake usually stings a little more, because you don't have the ability or time to make up for it. But Dalton Kilroe trying not to make any mistakes, so trying to fend off that 1 of Ty Marasco and 3 of Cody Griffin. Time is getting ready to expire here. We are going to go back to probably a green-white checker finish here, as the cars will be getting ready to go back to 2 wide probably this time by. Looks like Dalton Kilroe is going to continue to select the outside here. Yeah, lights are off on the pace car, and the drivers here, and this here is kind of, I think if the 3 was in 4th, then the 41 would have took the inside. But what this does here for the leader is, especially with a teammate there, the 41's going to get the jump. They usually, the leader, this restarts on the leader. So, he's going to jump, and then the 3 has nowhere to go unless the 3 really dives down underneath the 1 or something and try to make one of those drastic down in the apron kind of turns work for him. But yeah, it's kind of a good call there from Dalton Kilroe. That's allowed in the lead, and it appears to be that way. So it's a little bit of strategy here on for the number 41. But you got the 00, obviously trying to get a good finish here tonight as well, up 6 spots of Gordon Larson. So we're going to get back on the green here as the 41 heads down. Everybody else gets a fantastic run. Even the 1 getting a good start. 00, not too bad of a start himself. Side by side with the 3, and going to battle just a little bit. But, these drivers...
That would be a heck of a save there from the 3, Cody Griffin. Definitely a brown pants moment on that one, but he's going to hold on to it. I'm sure those rear tires are not going to be too happy. White flag is going to be in the air. Michael Pratt crashes. We'll see if we get the white flag or a yellow. And we are going to get the white flag as the 14 gets turned on the front stretch. Brandon Muir gets turned on the front stretch. Contact with the 19, but out front, Dalton Kilroe leading the way. Good battle back here in the back half of the top 10 as well. Actually, back half of the top 5 because Tim Lee is in 5th right now with the incident right there. But Dalton Kilrow out front is going to hold off Ty Marasco out of turn number 4, the 41, two-time winner here already this season. More targets getting painted on that car for sure. Dalton Kilrow, your winner here at New Hampshire. Second's going to go to Ty Marasco. Third to Cody Griffin. Gordon Larson in 4th. And how about that man in 5th? Tim Lee coming home with a top 5. Mike Hasty, Cade Green, Michael Taylor, Robert Kahn, and Hilton Young for your top 10.
Yeah, right spot, right time for Tim Lee, biggest mover of the race, finishing in that 5th spot, getting things done here tonight, showing that that 24 shell machine definitely has some speed, or at least the ability to stay out of some incidents. So, congratulations to all the drivers out here. We'll go ahead and give you a quick rundown of tonight's finishers. Let me clear off the screen here for you all. Clear that. And then we'll pull up the results, the race results. Show those. And there you go. Dalton Kilrow is your winner over Ty Marasco. Cody Griffin comes in 3rd. Gordon Larson in 4th. Tim Lee's going to round out your top 5. And you have Mike Hasty, Kate Green, Mike Taylor, Robert Connor, and Hilton Young for your top 10. Tyler Hilton, Dustin Franklin, DJ Mitzel, Todd Poston, Eric Blount for your top 15. And then you got John Garrett, Cole Spalding, Hemi Garadini, and then you have Sean Wilder, Brandon Meyer for your top 20, Michael Pratt, Len McNeese, and Derek Paulson round out your 23-car field here from Virtual Velocity Racing at New Hampshire. Carl working some of the admin duties that he performs here on Thursday nights for Virtual Velocity Racing. But one heck of a race here by the drivers here, completing 120 laps. Had a few cautions to keep things kind of interesting, tighten things up just a little bit. Gave some drivers some hope, gave some drivers some much needed maybe relaxation as getting at that fuel or new tires or whatever their pitch, helping them execute their pitch strategies. But another one wraps up here tonight. We're getting ready to talk to our top 3 as Carl finishes up his admin duties. But obviously we're gonna get a chance to talk to Dalton Kilrow and Ty Marasco along with that 3. Took Cody Griffin. It was one heck of a race, obviously, as he started from the pole, led a ton of laps, and then finds himself in a predicament with the Dalton Kilrow and Ty Marasco battling it out here to the end. But we're going to get to that here shortly. Go ahead and get everything set up. So when Carl comes back, we can get that done. I'm hoping he's still in Discord. He is. Okay.
Yep. Looking for me. I just had to clear some stuff up there with the head honchos and get everything squared away here. But we'll get our top 3 here in, as certainly well deserved. Some great racing by our top 3 here tonight. I mean, typically New Hampshire, it can get a little crazy. Certainly we talked about Core Xfinity having a ton of cautions out there, so really didn't get a chance to see too much green flag and good racing. Here when you do have green flag racing, a lot of times that the field kind of stretches out. It's single file. There's not too much good racing. Can't really say that about tonight. I mean, it was good, hard battling all throughout the race. These top 3 clearly seem to stand out above the rest with Kilrow, Marasco, and Griffin. So well-deserved podiums for all 3 of them. And looks like we got all 3 of them ready to go and queued up. So we'll bring in now our 3rd place finisher, the 3 of Cody Griffin. Cody, first of all, you get a copy.
Yes, sir. Got you.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, another great race by you. We've had 3 good races, kind of maybe not the best finishes for some of them. I was kind of talking about it throughout the race here, and the fact that the season opener, you didn't lead any laps. You finished top 5. You led all the laps in the second race, or not all the laps, but majority of the laps in the second race. Finished 15th. You lead a bunch of laps in the 3rd race. Finish outside the top 20. I almost feel like you leading laps is kind of a curse. And I seen you lead a bunch of laps here tonight. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be good. But you at least proved me a little bit wrong finishing in 3rd.
Yeah, We always fire off really good. I don't know what's been the well. I do know what's been the deal. Just bad luck of the draw, I guess you could say. Cautions kind of messed us up at Chicagoland, and then we had Kentucky last week, and I was on my own pit strategy and was coming up to lap a car that was on a different pit strategy, and spotter didn't let him know, and he didn't know that I was coming up on him, and he put me in the wall. So yeah, we've it's just nice to finish a race in the top 10 this week. To be honest with you, it's top 5's about like a win, but yeah, I mean, we got good speed. I got a few really good tracks coming up for me. Atlanta, the old Atlanta. That's a really good one. We got Martinsville a little bit later in the season, and then got a road course as well, the Watkins Glen. So I think we're going to be all right. I just, those last 2 races were kind of out of my control, but they've put me in a bit of a hole in the points. So top 5s and knocking off, I'd say at least 2 or 3 wins to, theoretically put ourselves back in it.
Well, certainly, I mean, you have the speed to get up there to lead laps. You have the speed to get the top spot here tonight. And having speed at a track like New Hampshire, I know there's some, quote unquote flat track specialists out there that are really good on the flat tracks. But I mean, you've already proven that you're good just about anywhere we go out here to at least lead some laps. It's just kind of putting it together and having the strategy go your way for once to get up there and finish on the top spot. But either way, good start to the season so far here, and hopefully Old Atlanta treats you nice next week, and maybe we can get to talk to you again, or maybe even talk to you last with that top spot. But either way, congrats on the 3rd here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just shout out to Tim for putting on the league, all the people behind the scenes that help him. Also, thanks to everybody that watches, tunes in. I got an old friend of mine that helps me on racing or in racing in real life, Pete Stewart. He always watches. Shout out to Pete and his wife Robin, and thank them for watching. And yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we can maybe get a win at Atlanta. Just don't do the broadcaster curse on me. Don't be like, yeah, he's in a shot.
I already said it's gonna be Carl's fault.
I already said, listen, don't lead any laps. I'm trying to tell you what the problem is.
All right, yeah, we'll just ride in second, and we'll have a shot at it.
Lead the last lap. All you got to do is just lead the last lap. If you lead the last one, you don't have time to screw it up.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, that's a fact. But thank y'all for broadcasting too. Appreciate everything y'all do, and we'll see y'all next week.
We appreciate it too, buddy. Good luck out there, and hopefully we'll talk to you again.
All right, man. Thank y'all.
3rd place finisher here tonight, the 3 of Cody Griffin getting up here and finally locking himself into a podium. 2nd place here tonight was definitely got the elbows out again, the 1 of Ty Marasco here once again.
Hi, Marasco. That's Jimmy and Carlton Booth. You copy, buddy?
I do.
Well, you definitely were running some low lines down through the corners. You got the DQ on the machine, and it didn't disqualify you, so you're able to use the track to your advantage here tonight just a little bit to kind of keep that 1 up there. I thought maybe you had something for the 41, but I think them late cautions kind of hamstringed you there just a little bit at the end. So give us a little rundown of your race and how was it out there tonight?
Oh, it was fun, especially battling Cody and Dalton. Sure, it was a good show on the broadcast. We were pretty close together for most of that race. Yeah, I think I had the fastest of the 3 cars. Honestly, I just didn't have enough laps to get up there, and it's so hard to pass. You got to kind of get under them and kind of move them a little bit. I knew that's the only opportunity I had really on Dalton was to pass and was move them. And with 4 to go, I was starting to gain on him pretty good, and then the caution flew, and I'm like, well, that's probably it because I think he can hold on for 2 laps. It kind of took my car like 2-3 laps to get in a rhythm, but it might look like the dumbest line ever, but it works.
I was like, what are they doing? But it made sense, obviously, because the car kind of washes out, and even if the driver's on the other side, hugging that white line, the few laps that I did, I ended up getting washed out anyways. So yeah, no, it made sense. It just kind of looked a little weird at first, the first time I caught it, and I think it was the 3 of Cody Griffin that I seen doing it. I seen you doing it, and then all of a sudden, I think Dalton caught on as well and used it a few times. I think they kind of block you.
Yeah, I was like I was like probably 2-3 seconds behind him, and then I got to a second behind him, and then he started doing it, and I'm like, yeah, It's a working line. It honestly worked better on the older tires than it did on the newer tires.
Okay.
And then you just got to be careful with the guys on the outside because you don't want to door them. So you got to be careful. You got to be, can't just be diving in there and going up the track without knowing where the guy is on the outside. But
yeah, definitely
yeah,
we're
good
throwing
run for
some
run
asphalt
for-
sliders for sure.
Oh yeah, I had to on the 3. I'm like, this is the only shot. Then I got around him, and then I was like, all right. And then I started tracking down Dalton, and then, just didn't have enough time with all the cautions. So, but hey, I'm glad with second place. We started the year pretty good. Sad thing is, Dalton's, I think, the leader in points, and he won, and I finished second. So.
Yeah. I mean, at least you're continuing to get a good average here tonight, and obviously it's tough when your competitors are the ones that you need to beat finish in front of you. But either way, the one gets a great finish here tonight, gets some good points over the rest of the field, except your teammate there. Maybe you can pull the rug out from underneath them. Maybe pull a couple lug nuts off his tires or something before he goes out. But either way, get that DQ machine for a win here. Yet as the season is still on a roll here, so we want to say congratulations in the booth as always, and give you some time for any shouts you might have in at number one.
Yeah, I think teammates Dalton and whole MFRD crew. I know Derek, he ain't feeling good, but he was out there a little bit tonight. But yeah, and you guys in the booth do a great job, and everybody puts it on. Tim does a great job. I'm glad to be here, and hopefully we go to Atlanta and maybe get that win. Or I'm like talking to you guys, but hopefully we can win it from the victory lane.
Everybody enjoys talking to us. We appreciate the shout outs. And yeah, old Atlanta, you guys are going to actually have to drive a little bit, not quite the super speedway that the Echo Park is. But we will definitely can't wait to see VVR out on the track once again next week. So until next time, we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the one of Ty Marasco. Another podium in the books, but another win in the books, and maybe another target I need to get painted on the car is going to be for the 41 of Dalton Kiro. Dalton, welcome to the booth here. Last man to talk to here once again. Another win here on the season, 2 out of 4. I guess as long as Ryan Kelly's not here, you don't have as much to worry about. But that really wasn't the case here tonight, because it wasn't exactly just an easy walk-away win here. You had some battling with your teammate there, Ty Marasco, and certainly the 3 of Cody Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth about Ryan Kelly. I was like, damn, he's just really my kryptonite. So, Ryan, please stay away, please. I mean, I know around here, as much as you wouldn't think this is like an aero-dependent track, dirty air just hurts you so much. Like after that first caution, and I was behind the 3, I just could not get any sort of momentum going to try to make a pass. Had green flag pit stops. Lap traffic getting in the way, which really, really annoyed all of us. I understand they're fighting to stay on the lead lap, but God, you do not stop in front of the leaders going into the corner. Now, I saw Ty closing in that second green flag run by running that weird slider line that looks absolutely just like something from Mars.
Broken.
So how that worked and didn't kill our tires, I have no idea. I had tried it in practice, and I was like, yeah, the right front's going to be hotter than the sun in about 10 laps. And I guess that wasn't the case. And on old tires, it was what the car needed. So as soon as I saw him close a second and a half in about 3 laps, I was like, okay, time to go down. And yeah, it was hard racing between all 3 of us. Just glad we were able to still finish 1, 2, 3. Didn't have any major issues between us. I know I got into the 3 a little bit. Did talk to him, and we're good on that. He was understandable. He was understanding of it. Yeah, just glad that's over. Wish we didn't have as many cautions, but it is what it is.
I think that the 3 owes an apology to his steering wheel because he was working
Oh my
that thing
goodness.
like nobody's business. I mean, you watch the broadcast back. You don't even need to pay any attention to anything else. Just watch the windshield of the 3 working back and forth. So surprised that you guys didn't get together even more than that because he was certainly wheeling it. But I mean, yeah, it looked like in the end there once the 3 and the 1 were kind of battling themselves, you were maybe able to check out a little bit. But once that battle settled down, I'm guessing you were kind of just running that line on the track and not using that lower line to try and keep those tires underneath you, just kind of a safer line on the track, and then drop down to the bottom when you had to do a little defending.
That's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head, because I mean, I knew the safer line where I'm not having to worry about
Nuking the tires.
the slight nuking the tires, the slight transition between the bankings, just take as many variables out of the equation as possible. Plus, I was comfortable running up top anyway. I say up top, but running that middle lane, that's just what I'm comfortable doing. So just try to get in a rhythm there. And once I saw the gap closing, it was like, yep, gotta shut that off, because I knew if he was able to get to my inside and stay there, I wouldn't be able to do what I had been doing, and the fight would have been on from there. And I just was not letting that happen.
Well, we'll see if next week Ryan Kelly's back and we keep going back and forth between Kelly and you getting the wins here as you guys head to Old Atlanta before you have kind of back-to-back super speedways with Daytona and the new Echo Park coming up before the break at the end of February. So, what's your thoughts on the Old Atlanta? I'm sure I know a lot of drivers, a lot of the quote unquote the ones that they like to get out here and drive and work the car. They prefer the Old Atlanta compared to the new Echo Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They killed Atlanta when they turned it into a 1.5 mile super speedway. The current configuration of Atlanta can die. I know we got the little off week at the end of February. And honestly, the only tracks left on the schedule that I'm slightly worried about is Martinsville, Phoenix and Gateway, because those 2 tracks can burn to the ground for all I care, because they suck. So just survival will be at Phoenix and Gateway. Martinsville, just try to stay ahead of the chaos, and then just do my thing everywhere else.
All right, buddy. Well, you're certainly doing it here so far. Points leader coming in, second win now on the season, and we'll see if you can get number 3 next week. But before we let you go and get out of here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
And I thank MFRD, the squad coming out tonight, Robert Kahn, Tom Orozco. You guys, obviously, for doing the broadcast for us. Got to thank Goldline Guardians, Hilton Crafts Designs, Fort Worth Screen Printing, everybody else at VVR for putting the league on. Everybody at home tuning in. We hope it was a good enough race with a couple of the cautions there to where we could have some good battling. And yeah, I think that's about it.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on your second win of the season. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you at Old Atlanta next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's your winner here tonight for the second time of the season, the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. Once again, want to thank the season sponsors, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. And want to thank everyone out there and Sierra Nation for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer. A reminder that we do have racing tomorrow night as we got the makeup race for 191 Motorsports, as they'll be in action at Daytona tomorrow night at approximately 8:30 Eastern time. So hopefully you join us out there for that one. A little Friday night lights action for CRN, but for myself and Jimmy from the Magic Mile, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.